Wow, 3 months is not a long time when you're talking Blackmagic. It was only a few months ago that I was comparing the ATEM Mini with the ATEM Mini Pro. Today they've announced the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Now it has some advantages over the Mini Pro, and I was going to do a video today about how I've gone with the Mini Pro and the benefits that I've found with that. So what I've been doing with the Mini Pro is producing about 250 videos in science labs. Now with something like that, it's like a live production. It's like a band or any live production. Things have to flow. Now you can't just stop it and say, oh, let's do that again, because the chemicals are reacting, and so you've just got to go with it and switch cameras. So that the Mini Pro has been fantastic to allow me to have the multi-view and also record to an SSD. And those two things alone have definitely made the Mini Pro worth twice the price as the Mini. Now today they've announced the Mini Pro ISO. Now it's got some other things as well which I could have used in what I've been doing. When you're streaming live or recording live using multiple cameras, inevitably you're going to switch to the wrong camera. Or certainly I do anyway. And particularly if you don't know what's about to happen, in like an interview, or in my case in science experiments, or perhaps even with a live event, a band or something like that. So what the Mini Pro ISO does, it allows you to edit that recorded video later. Now how it does that, it records all the inputs of all the 4 cameras, or 4 inputs that you have. So these 4 inputs are recorded with the program file at the same time onto the SSD. Normally you just have the program file and you're not able to do a lot with it if you've made some mistakes or you want to modify the edit at all. Now having those 4 streams, those 4 inputs recorded, allows you to then easily replace shots that perhaps weren't the best shot. This could have been done if you were, say, recording on your cameras and then bringing them in later. That's complicated. However, by having all those 4 inputs recorded onto the same SSD, and in fact in the same folder with the same time code as your program file, it makes it then very easy to replace things that you might want to. Now I'll just show you an example here of one of the many switching mistakes that I've made. I've had a picture-in-picture and I've switched cameras and I haven't been quick enough to remove that picture-in-picture. So what I've got is a picture-in-picture of the same camera that I'm using as the main picture. Now there's no point to have that. It is a mistake. Certainly to make it look more professional, it would be better to remove that. Now what I've done to do that, when I have switched the wrong cameras, I've captured a still. I'll put that over the timeline. Now in my case with science experiments, that's not too hard. But if you're talking about a band or something like that, that's not going to work. So the ability to replace some of your program file with captures from your other cameras makes a huge benefit. And the example I give in the Blackmagic video is if you're recording interviews, sometimes someone will jump in and say something and you'll have to switch quickly to that person, but they've already started speaking. So therefore you've missed the beginning of that. What you can do is go back and change the point at which that camera switches over, because you've already got that recorded information off the 4 inputs and easily imported into many of the editing suites now, or editing software. DaVinci is what Blackmagic use. That would be the easiest to use. However, they are saying that it will work in any of the other major editing programs. So anyway, I think that for a couple of $100 extra, if you're looking at long term, I think this is a great benefit to your workflow. I've been using Blackmagic products for a number of years now, and each time they keep coming out with better products. And that's a bit of the problem with them. You buy a product thinking that it's the best product thing, and then 3 months later they bring out a better one. That's the downside of Blackmagic. They move very quickly, but we benefit from those innovations. So if you need to edit later, I think the ATEM Mini Pro ISO would be a great advantage over the two earlier versions. Okay, thank you.